So Michelle is back from her stay at Dockside to check out this year's Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando. Now she's going to tell us all about it. We've got a new store announcement. We pay tribute to team member Jenny and Little Things with Seth. So this is episode 444 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Lee's shaking his head as usual, so say hello, Lee.
Hello everyone.
And I've got a lovely Michelle with me as well. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, I'm so happy to be back.
Yay.
Well, kinda.
Kinda? What, are you not back?
I think
Is this a recording?
I'm kinda happy to be back. I mean, I did have a fabulous trip. So.
Yeah,
I was going to take that the same way Tracy was about to.
I was like, what?
I think you don't have to be here, you know.
What, we don't?
Well, you don't, in fairness.
No Chris tonight. He's up to some sort of shenanigans.
Work, unfortunately.
Oh, is it work? Oh, bless him.
I realised that we haven't had a full team together for about 6 weeks at this point.
Wow.
Has it really been that long?
Yes, because you were missing the last 2 episodes. Chris was missing the 2 episodes prior to that.
I missed.
So you missed the one last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I missed one. So right, let's get something out the way first. That's sad and serious, I suppose. We are having to reschedule the Weekender. Boo. We're not happy, but with the current climate and everything, we've made the executive decision to, just move it. Move it to some point next year.
Yeah, so we're just going to do the same exact weekend, same exact plans and everything that we've already kind of started planning behind the scenes, but we're just moving it to 2022 instead.
It will be moved to the weekend of the 18th, 19th, and 20th of November 2022.
Yep.
Yeah.
We kind of had a discussion, and just with everything still being up in the air as far as travel plans, we felt like it wasn't going to be what we wanted it to be. We're potentially not going to have people come because they might not be happy traveling, so we'd rather push it to a point
not just
when
that, we don't know how vaccination schedules are running country to country, and we want to give everybody a chance to be able to be there if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, it's not even so much about comfort level as it is the ability to travel.
Yeah.
So there's just so much up in the air with borders being still shut down and possible reopenings. And then once they do reopen, what are the requirements going to be? We would hate for people to come, overseas and get quarantined here for some, bad negative test or whatever. So we just want things to be a little bit easier for everybody involved, including ourselves on the organization end, and just go ahead and bite the bullet, move it to next year.
Yeah, well, I think there's one of the things we had a planning meeting not that long ago, and this is why it's such a kick in the teeth at this point.
Yeah, so good.
One of the things that we've got planned, I think it really needs everything to be at least 90% normal to get the most out of it. I think with restrictions on it wouldn't be as good as it could be, let's say that.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we're being sensible. We're sad.
Sorry, Jeff, I know you've booked your time for that weekend this year, but just shift it to next year. I'll go anyway and then just come next year anyway.
Right, yeah. I mean, nobody's saying that you can't travel to Universal, you never know. Some of us might be there and we can do, say hello or whatever. But as far as an official Weekender, 2022 is the date to keep in mind.
Let's move on. I do enjoy this bit. Let's have a Little Things with Seth.
Hi, this is Seth Kaburski from the Unofficial Guides, and I'm kicking off March 2021 with a ginormous edition of all the little things that are new around the Universal Orlando Resort. We'll start out in City Walk, where we finally have official confirmation that the new retail project under construction will be the largest ever Universal Studios store. According to the concept art, there will even be a Super Nintendo area within that shop. No word yet on when that will open or what will become of the current Universal Studios store in City Walk. And as that project continues to move forward, the last remnants of the Blue Man Group are sadly being removed from City Walk. Signage has come down and the exterior of the theater is being painted over. And if you can't wait to get inside Universal Studios Florida to get your Mardi Gras on, some of the freestanding bars in City Walk are now selling Mardi Gras food and drink items, and you can use your tasting lanyard at those locations. However, you can no longer use that tasting lanyard inside the Mardi Gras tribute store at the Bayou Bites stand. It seems that those tasting lanyards, especially with the annual pass discount, turned out to be a little too good a deal for guests. In other theme park food news, we have final confirmation from the signage in front of Schwab's Pharmacy that the Haagen-Dazs brand has replaced Ben & Jerry's throughout Universal Studios ice cream locations. In addition, Dipping Dots frozen ice cream has been removed from snack stands around the resort. And one more food note, Richter's Burger Company in the San Francisco area of Universal Studios Florida is currently closed on weekdays, to almost no one's disappointment. A few attraction updates around Universal Studios Florida. In recent months, the Blues Brothers have been adding some deep cuts to their song list rotation. Recently heard them performing Jailhouse Rock, Do You Love Me Now That I Can Dance, and even Rawhide. So if you've gotten tired of the usual flip, flop, and fly, swing by the Delancey Street stage and see if they are performing one of these lesser-known hits. Over at the Bourne Stuntacular, I noticed that they have gone back to leaving empty rows in between guests. For a while, they had started filling every row with guests, but now every other row is being skipped again, albeit they are only leaving 2 empty seats between parties instead of 3. On a sad note, all of the Barney branding, including the signage and the statue, has been removed from around the A Day in the Park with Barney Theater. However, the bathroom, which was one of the best bathrooms for families in the park, is still available. And a note for all you Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket fans.
Michelle?
The roller coaster will be closed for maintenance on March 10th and 11th.
Oh, darn.
Hopping over to Islands of Adventure, Popeye and Bluto's Bilgerat Barges has reopened from its annual refurbishment,
On fire.
along with the rest of the island, while neighboring Ripsaw Falls has now closed and will be under maintenance through March 19th. In nearby Jurassic Park, the smoking section outside of Thunder Falls Terrace is still blocked off with construction walls. But the paddock walls have come down around the Velocicoaster, giving guests a great view of the second launch as the roller coaster is tested on a regular basis. Flaming torches were also recently installed outside the ride's new entrance, along with signage that will direct guests looking to board the ride. The official opening date is still not until summer of 2021, but you can already buy Velocicoaster merchandise, now available in stores around the park. And finally, there's been a recent update to the distribution of virtual line passes at Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure and other attractions that use virtual line. Virtual line becomes available up to 20 minutes before the park opens, and previously, additional ride times would become available randomly throughout the day. Now, Universal is advertising in the app that additional virtual lines become available around 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. So be sure to check the app at those times if you're at the resort and looking to ride any virtual line attractions. All right, that's all for this time. I'm Seth Kubersky, and you can pick up my new book, The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando 2021, at theunofficialguides.com. And I'll be back in another couple of weeks with more little things from around the Universal Orlando Resort.
That's a lot of information.
There's a lot, yeah. Yeah, the biggest Universal store. We saw that the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, Michelle, have you seen the concept art that they've put up on the construction
I did.
walls?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It looks all right. Honestly,
It's a store.
it doesn't look anything particularly special.
It's a store.
But it's going to be huge. If you
Yeah.
think what it's taken over, that store is going to be immense.
It's their answer to World of Disney.
I wonder how much Nintendo stuff will be in there, because having watched Chris's vlogs from Super Nintendo World, some of that stuff is amazing.
Oh, we'll just get bare bones of that.
See, at this
There'll be
point...
none of the really cool stuff that I want.
Yeah, at this point, I'm less interested in that
Uh-huh.
am more interested in what's going to happen with the other one.
Yeah, well, it'll become a small.
Thing is, it is only small.
Place.
They can't do an awful lot with it,
I
but
think
it will
it's
be
bigger
interesting.
than you think. When places are empty, when there's racks and things around, it looks smaller.
What do you
So-
think might go in there? Another store, or are you thinking a restaurant?
It's not big enough for a restaurant. Maybe like a quick service thing or something. You think about it,
So I was
like
thinking
you
maybe
think
quick
it's
service
smaller than Voodoo Donut inside. I would say.
No,
I wouldn't.
it's not
Yeah.
smaller than
No, I
Voodoo
wouldn't say
Donut.
so. I would say because it goes off to the right.
Yeah, no,
It's not
it's
square. It's quite
probably
big, actually.
I mean, it's big enough. It's easily big enough for a quick service.
Yeah.
If they do bring a quick service, I hope it's something unique.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always complains there's not enough breakfast
True.
options, so maybe they could put in some type of breakfast restaurant.
Yeah. We've been doing this thing for 10 years, and breakfast at the parks, or even at the resorts, is something you tend to struggle with at Universal.
Well, I was
Yeah.
talking with my friend Katie a couple of days ago because we were discussing where we want to eat, and we both agreed that they need a Korean place on there because we like Korean food. So
I mean, yeah,
Korean takeout,
I would-
Korean barbecue would be awesome.
I'd be up for it.
Yeah, something different again. So
Apparently, the rumour
Yeah.
is the reason Rip Ride Rocket's closed for 2 days is they're making
It's
it
crap.
Michelle friendly.
that'll
Are they
take a
putting
lot of
shoulder
work.
restraints?
No,
Oh, well, dang.
Not go to Schwab's. They got rid of Ben and Jerry's. What are they thinking?
what's wrong with Haagen-Dazs? Like,
It's not Ben and Jerry's.
eh.
Ben and Jerry's is nicer,
In fairness, if I'm having ice cream at Universal, it's not Ben and Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs.
and it also means that I can't get me Cherry Garcia anymore.
Oh well,
I kind of like Haagen-Dazs better than Ben & Jerry's.
I'm not bothered either way. I'll be at Florian Fortescue, so I can care less.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, I'm just excited that I had ice cream the other day and my lactose intolerance didn't kick in.
Yeah, sorry,
was
Kelly,
awesome.
by the way.
I'm sad all the Blue Man Group stuff's going away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw the all the signage was already down.
Yeah,
And that you guys didn't get to experience it before
that,
it went away.
yeah, I am gutted.
We'll just have to go to one of the other venues.
Yeah. Be interesting to see whether they use that building for anything now then, or whether it'll just sit empty.
I really hope they use it for another show type thing.
It would
Not,
make sense.
and this is crazy for me to say, but not a ride, because I really, really loved having that option as something to do after the parks close, and it's relaxing and it's fun. I liked it.
The thing is, you look at where it is and it's not in the park, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure you can access it from inside the park at this point either.
Unless it became
Well, why
a
not?
city
They
walk
just
ride,
open up that. Yeah, just open up that side entrance and make it a walkthrough.
or make it not part of the parks and have it as a ride on City Walk for people on a night.
Well, that was originally the plan with Rip Ride Rocket,
Yeah.
wasn't it? That it was supposed to be
The two
kind of
entrances,
sectioned
yeah.
off so you could get in from the park or from City Walk, and they were going to charge you to ride it, like if you wanted to, from outside the park.
Oh,
Did you not know that, Michelle?
I did not.
No, that was the original plan. Because if you look at the original concept art for it, a lot of the that back end loop actually was supposed to go out into City Walk.
Hmm.
But we know the history
That's
about that
interesting.
ride, and none of it's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But anyway,
How long did the Blue Man Group building sit empty after all of the
Nickelodeon.
kid stuff?
That is an interesting question. I do not know. That is a
No.
very
I wouldn't-
interesting question.
I wouldn't be sad for it to be a Nickelodeon Studios again, though.
Few people have said
that
that.
was an amazing part of my childhood.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's already plans in place for it.
So it closed on April 30th, 2005 as Nickelodeon.
So a month before we... Oh no, we were there for the first... Our first trip was there. Didn't even know about it.
No, I didn't. I don't. No, that doesn't necessarily feel right.
I thought Blue Man Group was already there our first trip.
Thought I remember hearing, like, after Blue Man Group is closing after so many years, blah, blah, blah. It better be something good in there, because I really loved Blue Man Group. I saw it 4 or 5 times.
Apparently it opened, so it sat for approximately 2 years.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Let me just.
That was
double check.
2007 that opened.
Yeah.
Wow. I always thought that was there before us.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Let me just find this for definite. Nickelodeon Studios, opening date June 7th, closed April 30th, 2005.
Wow.
So, yeah, just over 2 years it's sat empty.
Okay.
Unless there was something else there in between. Which
I don't think there
doesn't
was.
look like it.
I don't think there was.
No.
Never heard anything in the
No.
history
Hmm.
things.
Excelente.
It's nice to see the Blues Brothers are putting some extra new tracks in there.
Yeah, shows like that, when it's the same thing time in, time out, it does get a little, however much you love them.
Even for the performers as well, it's nice to mix things up a bit.
I love
So-
Rawhide as well.
I was going to say there's some good songs being added in there as well.
What's up with Born? Like, why would they go away from the Empty Rose and then right back to it? There hasn't been any changes to anything, so COVID-wise, at least.
Numbers haven't been rising or anything.
But we're going to separate you by 2 seats instead of 3.
2 or 3 makes no
It
difference.
makes no sense. None of this stuff makes sense. But you know what? I guess if it all makes the government happy enough to let them stay open, they're willing to
Exactly.
do whatever.
Jump through those hoops.
They seem
Yeah.
to be jumping
Yeah.
through those hoops and doing everything they need to do
they
as
are.
well. I think they're keeping it where they can keep the capacity high, but staying within the sort of rules they need to. And again, you look at the whole thing. We've had no news of anybody getting COVID while at the theme parks. Which, if it had happened,
we'd have
it
known.
would be everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Headline
sure.
news. Yeah.
I can't wait for it to go back to normal as far as shows go, because for most of my trips, it's always been super easy for me to catch a showing of Horror Makeup Show. And so many times lately that I've been, I haven't been able to get in because the line is so long
Yeah.
because of all the separations and the, seating every over the row and everything.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to wait, knowing that it's usually so available. I'm not willing to wait an hour outside in the sun
No.
for
No.
horror makeup, I'm done with it.
Yeah, I think we're all a bit fed up now, aren't we? So,
Yes.
yeah.
We're still jumping through those hoops too. Don't get me wrong.
yes.
I'm going to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for normalcy.
Yes. I just want to be able to go out for a coffee and sit in a coffee shop. That's my lofty goal now. So the walls are down at the Velocicoaster.
Finally, you get there. I have to say,
Yes.
I've posted an article that Nicole sent us pictures over on our blog of that ride. Now those walls are down. I look forward to riding Jurassic World Velocicoaster. That thing looks amazing.
It does.
It looks like a beast.
Oh man,
I'm so excited.
it looks absolutely stunning.
It does.
If you saw, Alicia posted some video from Amusement Insider in Theme Park Stop yesterday of some night testing. The light package, not just on the cars, but also in the rock work and stuff. Oh, it looks phenomenal.
Why have I not seen this?
Because there's
you're
actual
mean.
footage kind of the one of the show scenes as well.
Is this when you were sat in the armchair going, I'm not going to watch it, I'm not going to watch it, I'm not going to watch
And
it,
then
I'm
thought,
watching
sod
it.
I'm not going to get to ride it this year, so I'm going to watch it anyway.
And you didn't share.
Oh, you can watch it later. I did tell you that there are screens involved.
Wow, you told me the content.
You
We'll
don't
have
really
words
see
later.
anything, in fairness. You can see
I
a
can't
video
wait.
screen
Yeah.
of something.
It looks awesome. And seeing footage of it running, that track's whisper quiet.
Yes, Michelle,
It
we
is.
both commented when we were watching about what you said, that there's footage of it. Literally, someone stood right next to that cargo past, and it is silent.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it's going to really bother Three Broomsticks very much.
I think it will do to a
People,
certain extent. You're still gonna
people
get
screaming and things, and I think there's going to be more noise than the actual vehicle.
But
Yeah, but that's not that area that goes right next to the patio isn't like a screaming opportunity.
People still
it's that
scream
double
though,
helix.
don't
I think
they?
you might be surprised.
We shall see.
But
I'm
it'll go
excited,
past
though.
so
Oh,
fast.
it adds like Hagrid's. Well, actually, I said this to Tracy the other day. Hagrid's adds so much more to Hogsmeade, but it's still kind of walled off from the rest of Hogsmeade. You don't get how much Hagrid brings to Hogsmeade unless you're in line for Hagrid's.
Right.
If you're in Hogsmeade, it's still walled off. You don't really see it.
Yeah.
Whereas
Exactly.
the Velocicoaster, wherever you are in Jurassic Park, it just adds so much more to that island, which it desperately needed.
And I love the coloration of it.
Yeah,
I know it's just grey, as I heard somebody say, but I think it's very classy looking.
it just looks amazing. It really does.
If of course it could be classy. Yes,
Yeah.
we'll go with classy.
It looks
I like
awesome.
it.
So this one, like Hagrid's and Hulk, it's going to be better at night too, right?
I would imagine. I think it's going to be
What you
two
think?
different rides.
Yes, because you're going to go through some of that. For how much it goes through the rock work, you're going to get some proper head chopper moments. And if you do that in the dark, you're not going to see them coming. So yes, it's going to be way more intense at night.
Yeah.
Especially with the launches as well. Which
I need to do that so much.
we have said many, many, many times over the last 10 years of doing this show that they need to open Islands of Adventure later on a night, more regular.
Yeah.
Because they have so many rides in there now that really take advantage of it being dark. Like, I really want to do...
agree.
God, we did do Kong at night, didn't we? But we didn't go outside. When we
Yeah,
did it with
that's
Andy and
right.
Thomas, we didn't go outside, did we?
No.
No, so we never got the benefit of that, really.
It's not really a huge benefit. I mean, it's...
No, but it would make
just
a
a little
difference.
loop,
I think it
isn't
would
it?
make a difference going outside into the main sort of ride
Yeah.
portion, being dark with the flaming torches and stuff. I think it would definitely create a better atmosphere. And then
Yeah,
you've got
a little bit.
Hulk and Hagrid, even Flight of the Hippogriff to a certain extent. Zeus Trolley Train Ride. We've never done that at night.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's... as I
That's
say,
the only time to do it is nighttime.
but in fairness, out of all the times that we've visited Universal, Islands of Adventure has never really been open
No.
past about 7 o'clock.
No.
February last year was about the only time we've been in it really after dark, other than Halloween Horror Nights in 2004. It's always been closing relatively early,
Yeah.
like just at dusk. So,
I just need them to hurry up and announce what the plans are for the opening of the Velocicoaster so that I can know if it's even a chance for me to get on it. I mean, there's no way they're going to be able to do a standard opening and let an 8-hour long line form.
no, it will be interesting. I mean, it can't be a million miles away. You know, they've pulled the walls down. You can see it. They're testing it regularly. We've seen people on it.
They've got the signs up in the park.
Yeah. How much more? All the merch is out there. You know how much I'm all about the socks.
Oh, yeah.
Those socks are amazing. I want to own every pair of socks Universal
The
have ever
shot
created.
glasses
I
for me, they're
love
awesome.
the socks.
So the socks I sent you were a good idea
Yes,
then, huh?
thank you. I love them. They are the nicest pair of, like, not those ones specifically.
All of them.
I've got Horror Nights 26, 27, 28, 29. Chris sent me some Classic Monsters ones. I've got some Universal Studios ones. And honestly, the crappiest ones out of the lot were the 29 Ghostbusters ones I've got.
Mm-hmm.
But they are that good quality socks that the Halloween Horror Nights 26 ones that Chris Ruck got me, I still own, I still wear on a weekly basis, and they are not threadbare in the slightest.
Wow.
They were $20, so they bloody should last.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that ride is just, it's going to make that corner of the park an absolute bottleneck now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
You got Forbidden Journey, Hagrid's, and then that, and then down to Kong.
Well, you wanted someone putting in there. Don't get what you wished for, then complain.
I'm not complaining. Because I've always said that corner of the park is always something you don't go because it's water rides now. It's you've got other things.
If they treat it like they do Hagrid's, they won't allow a line to form outside of the actual queue. So like you try to line up at Hagrid's, especially if there's a virtual queue or if it's down and you're hoping that it's going to open back up soon, they won't let you start queuing.
Okay.
So
it will be interesting. I bet they're gutted as well. They won't be happy having to open their, this stellar roller coaster during a pandemic still and not really be able to do it how they want to do it. But
It is what it is.
I mean,
It's still going to draw people. It's going to make money for them.
I don't think it's that though. It's they want
The fanfare.
Yeah, you think like everyone complained, oh, I waited 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours. There was posts all over the place of Universal did it on purpose to inflate waits to get media and all the rest of that last time. But that's what they want. They want that.
Yeah.
We waited 10 hours in line to ride
that's
it, and it was worth every minute of it.
It's a badge of honour.
Yeah. And you're not going to get that this year. You might get, I waited 6 hours, but there were still only 4 people in line in front of me just because of the social distancing.
Oh, I wear my badge of honor very proudly.
Yes.
Oh, I think you're sad, but anyway.
Right. Have we exhausted that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Right. Well, we've got a very special guest coming on.
Oh, have we?
Yes, we have.
We do?
We do. We're having a nice little review of Dockside.
Oh, that's me.
It is.
Oh, no, I think she was wanting to get Chrissa.
I was going to say, lovely little lady, but then I thought little was a bit condescending. But then you said Chrissa, so that would have been all right.
Michelle, you beat
Yes.
us to it.
What?
We were
I beat you
supposed to
to
be
it, yes.
staying here October
I
last
know.
year.
Gutted.
Well, listen, Lee Malaby, you called me out.
I
So
know. It doesn't mean you have to.
he's good at that, you know.
you put me on the spot as a travel agent saying I should know these things. Well, okay then.
So now she does.
Michelle, have you stayed at
So now I do.
Have you stayed at Surfside yet?
I haven't.
Right.
Oh, well, you do
I
that
wasn't
next
calling
week
you out.
now.
I was just saying, obviously you have a comparison between the two, if you had.
No, I haven't stayed at Surfside.
So how was it?
Dockside was a great value option. I like it. Okay. In comparison
Here
to
we go.
Cabana Bay, I like it better. I like Dockside better, of course, because it's newer.
Mhm.
Cabana Bay is getting a bit run down and needs some refurbishments. So Dockside was super squeaky clean and nice. However, quality-wise, like I can tell it's going to get run down pretty quickly too.
Okay, yeah.
And even Nancy commented on that as well.
It will be interesting at that point then how they keep on top of the upkeep then. I think that's going to be very telling.
Yes. And especially with them not having regular housekeeping and stuff to kind of keep it nice on a daily basis, it's going to get run down fairly quickly.
Yeah.
The lobby area was absolutely beautiful. That's always one of my favorite areas of all of Universal's resorts. And so the lobby was great. They put a lot of attention to detail in there, not just like where the seating areas are. Of course, there's a Starbucks like always, but the quick service restaurant, it was all very beautiful and well done.
It has that wow factor. We've watched a few vlogs of it and it does look gorgeous.
It does. That lobby area does not look like a value resort at all.
No, not at all.
It looks something more like you would think Sapphire Falls.
Yeah.
It actually even is a little bit more grandeur than Sapphire Falls, to be honest with you.
It feels, obviously not having been in there, but it feels quite, with all the wood aesthetic in there, it feels quite warm and homely.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It does. You're right. And there were lots of socially distant seating areas for everybody, and there were people in there quite often utilizing those areas.
Okay.
Because of where they put Starbucks, bottlenecks do kind of form there, especially in the morning. It gets a bit crowded in that area. And you have to walk through the bar to get back to the quick service restaurant, which was a little odd because the quick service restaurant was kind of hidden back there.
Was that tough, Michelle? Was that tough on the morning?
Well, I'm just like, if you don't know it's back there, you would know it's back there.
Mm.
If you know what I mean. So,
So if you get caught by Nancy going through I'm just going to the restaurant out the back, it's fine. I wasn't getting a drink.
right. Yeah, exactly. The room, we stayed in a 2-bedroom suite, which was very nice and well done and perfect for our family. So it had a separate bedroom with a queen bed in it. That room itself was very small. Not like there was just enough room on either side of the bed to kind of walk past. And then out in the main area, there were 2 queen beds, Each room had its own TV, and then there was the little kitchenette area, which was nice and handy when you have a family there. So that was nice. Again, the cleanliness was nice. It wasn't a very long bus ride to the parks. I didn't feel any longer than Cabana Bay did, honestly.
I think Seth said on a recent Little Things when he stayed, they timed it at like 7.5 minutes.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it didn't feel bad. And we never had to wait. There were constantly buses coming. So that was nice. What else?
You sent me some pictures, Michelle, which I posted on our Instagram and our Facebook, and someone commented on the room, like the outside bit where I'm assuming Chrissa and Audrey stayed, that it didn't look like, from that picture at least, there was an awful lot of space at the end of those beds.
Oh, no. In that main room, yes, there was plenty of room in that main room.
But it really didn't look it at all.
I guess it was just the perspective of the picture that I took. But in the one bedroom, it was small. In the main area where there were 2 beds, there was plenty of room. So much so that all 4 of us would kind of gather there in the middle of the day. One day it was pouring down rain, so all 4 of us were stuck in the hotel, and we pulled over chairs in between the 2 beds, and kind of all 4 of us hung out as a family watching TV. So there was plenty of room over there.
Okay. So there's two things then, Michelle, that I've heard people that seems to be a common complaint. The pillows are 3 things.
Pillows were fine.
The towels.
Towels? What is the complaint about the towels?
Towels. I was told by a very good friend of ours who works for Universal themselves, and he stayed there not last year, the year before. He said, bring your own towels.
What? No.
And I've heard that a few times.
How long's this been open?
Oh, Dockside. No, that was Surfside.
But
I have heard the same reports from Dockside. No, he stayed at Surfside, sorry, yes.
I don't know what kind of special towels you need to dry your body off, but they worked just fine for us.
Okay.
I mean, they weren't like non-absorbent or too thin or anything like that. We had to call for more, obviously, because we didn't have room service or housekeeping. But no, they were fine. And then in the pool area, they were actually commented to Audrey. They were kind of cute because normally they just have the white towels everywhere. But at this pool, they actually had like striped yellow and white towels. So they looked kind of cute and beachy.
Okay.
No, I thought they were fine. And the pillows were fine.
So then the other thing is the thinness of the walls.
Yeah, they were thin. I mean, it's a value resort, so
they're not going
to get around that.
Enclave. It's cheap as chips. They're all like that around there. Tracy, when we stayed at the Enclave last February, there might as well not be glass in the window in the first room.
I got us moved. If you hadn't crashed out, would have been moved immediately. Within 10 minutes, I was like, "No, this is not happening."
Oh my God, So we stayed at the Enclave in February.
Which we like a lot.
We just got put in the wrong building, which I got in with a headache. Surprise, surprise. Lee had a headache. What a shock. Like 11 o'clock at night, because we should have been there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon because of a 6-hour delay. We didn't. And we crashed out, and it's right behind the Magical Midway on iDrive. So that bungee rocket that's on the corner of iDrive, we could hear every single word that the people were shouting at the top of that thing, not at the bottom, when they were at the top. It was not fun.
No.
But they bent over backwards to accommodate us.
We got basket and all sorts, didn't we?
It was really nice in the end. But
all I wanted was moving. I mean, even to the point where it was just like, just leave your luggage behind the door, we'll move it to your room, go and enjoy your day. Couldn't fault them for it.
But anyway, it's an iDrive hotel. They're not going to be amazing.
No, I mean, in comparison to other iDrive hotels, it was great. I didn't have any issues with noise. Like there weren't any opportunities for me to stay awake at night because of it or be bothered by it. And I had a pool view room, so there were people walking past my room, the windows, quite often, and I didn't hear anything from them. I didn't even hear anything from the pool.
Michelle, were these people floating? How are they walking past the window?
What do you mean? I was on a ground floor.
All right. I didn't realize. I thought, because Tracy said, what, on the 6th floor?
No, I was on the 1st floor.
And because Tracy said on the 6th floor, I missed that you must have said the 6th floor and assumed that you were staying on the 6th floor.
No. I was on
go
the
the
first floor.
glass
I like
sliding
ground floor.
Jesus, Superman's about.
No. Ground floor, pool
Okay,
view.
that makes sense now.
And I didn't hear like music from the pool or anything. So no, it wasn't terrible and I never had any issues. I actually had more issues at Hard Rock on my trip in December than I did at this one.
I think it's going to be different because obviously capacity at the hotel will be less than it should be. I think if you go in July or August, non-COVID time when it's rammed, I think it might be
different.
Yeah.
You're right. Although it was a holiday weekend.
Yeah. But how did you notice at all how they were spacing like people in rooms, Michelle? Like, did you have someone next door or?
Yeah, we had people across the hall from us actually talk to them.
Okay.
We brought out our trash and set them by the door at the same time and had a little chat. Everything was fine.
Rubbish out the front door.
We had 0 issues, none whatsoever. It was a smooth and seamless stay from beginning to end. We did the online check-in, so we got to skip the main line when we got there. They had a separate little one person who was doing all of the online check-in people, so that made it a lot quicker, which is nice. If you've stayed at Universal hotels before, that's probably the way to do it. If you haven't, though, you might want to skip that option because you get a little bit more information about, everything that entails with staying on property. But yeah, no issues whatsoever. The food that we had was good. And
did you get a bubba tub?
Did I have what?
A bubba tub.
No.
That was the only reason you were going, woman.
Letting the side down.
There you go, Tracy. At least that's something that's left for you when we go.
I don't sleep through the thin walls and the noise.
Yeah,
I wanted to try that turkey burger thing too, but I didn't get the opportunity. Sad face.
Well, that's a reason to go back.
No, it sounds good.
You can't do it all in one trip. And we did lots of different things other than Universal this time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And Universal closed really freaking early almost the whole time we were there.
I think it sounds like
it is.
It is what it is. Like you say, it's a value hotel. And as long as you go in with that expectation, then...
Yeah, it definitely served its purpose. And would I send clients there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. That says a lot because I know how picky you are with your clients about that. So that's a high recommendation for me.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for that, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Should have been us last October, anyway.
Oh, shut up. Right, on to one of my favourite parts of the show. It's very testosterone-filled this time.
There's only 2.
There's only 2, but, both blokes. So it's on for the Producers Club birthdays. So 2nd of March, which is tomorrow as we record, or today if you're listening on release day, tomorrow is David Griswold's birthday. So happy birthday, David.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, David.
And then on the 3rd of March, it's Shane Stoot's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Yes.
This isn't here, so someone has to do it.
Yeah. So I hope you have lots of cake and fun and birthday goodies.
As much as you can.
Well, David's married to Joni, so you know that he's going to have some kind of fun. She'll make some kind of goodies.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Awesome. Right. Don't know about you. Bit knackered, could do with a breather. So let's have an ad break.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffle Trees in Seuss Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than wands and potions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse & Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs, earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse & Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rated customer service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a no-obligation quote request or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you want to go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
Welcome back. So, I hope you enjoyed your little listen to our lovely sponsors there. No, I did. It is time for a SPEW. Lee.
Right. Everyone is going to get incredibly jealous over this SPEW. So for those who don't know, this is a Society for the Promotion of Employee Well-Dones. Basically, hashtag you or fist bump if you follow Universal on Twitter. This is one of the best team member stories I have read in a long, long time. So it comes from Michael Morris. And he says, here is a SPEW from my last trip to Universal. A few of us visited Universal in early December to escape the work-at-home monotony and to experience the holiday event. Another benefit of visiting this time of year is riding Hagrid at night. Very true, because it is awesome. So after spending the morning in studios, we made our way to Islands of Adventure. During our train ride, we were checking for virtual queue openings, but had no luck. I can't remember if the park reached capacity that day or not, but we decided to do some other attractions, all while regularly checking the app. After about an hour, 2 of us were able to get virtual queues for around 5 p.m. By the time we boarded the coaster, it was early dusk, so we knew the second ride would get us what we desired, even if we were not able to get a later window. Get ready. While exiting the attraction, team member Jenny noticed the original Dueling Dragons shirt being worn by Josh and pulled us to one side. Talked to us for a few minutes and then inquired if we wanted to ride again. Of course, we jumped at the chance and she walked us back into the station. We made sure to thank her before and after the ride. We then returned to the queue with our second virtual queue window. After this ride, Jenny recognised us again and again asked if we wanted to re-ride.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he beat me.
There was only one possible answer, yes. We stayed in Hogsmeade for the rest of the night, grabbing a virtual queue window whenever we could.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to get a few more, and after each ride, Jenny proceeded to give us yet another ride. At the end of the evening, we ended up with 10 night rides on
Holy
Hagrid's,
crap.
much more than we expected, and it was mostly thanks to Jenny. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I would like to say that was thanks to Michelle who booked his hotel stay, but unfortunately I had nothing to do with that.
Hats off to Jenny. That's awesome.
That is
so then
amazing.
it obviously became a running joke. She'd see them and come on then, let's have another ride.
Wow.
Jenny, can I be your friend?
Yeah.
Right? We've ridden Hagrid's once at dusk and once at night, but 10 rides at night is just phenomenal.
Wow.
That's awesome. Dang.
So cool.
Awesome.
What a good idea, though, just to kind of hang out there and keep trying to get
Yeah.
virtual queues as people start leaving the park.
Definitely.
Yeah. Why not?
So yeah,
Dang.
if you've got a team member story like that about anyone at Universal, send them into us. Title it SPEW, podcast@uuopodcast.com, because we love sharing them, and hearing
We do.
stories like that is just amazing.
Yeah. Makes our
That
day.
Hagrid's team, they're banging them out lately.
They really
they're,
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
So good. Right. We are still looking for our first recordings for our new debate. Rate my crib.
So Michelle doesn't know this at this point, and Chris obviously isn't here. Michelle, I have a Orlando-based, what would you class them as, Tracy? Are they a punk band? Recording a jingle for Rate My Crepe at the moment.
Oh, that's so cool.
Could work.
I would think people who watch our YouTube channel will know one of the band members.
Yeah. They're awesome.
I will plug them closer to the time,
Yeah.
but it is being worked on as we speak.
Yes.
So cool.
I am very
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. So, if you want to be part of our debate, we need you to record yourself rating each crepe from Central Park crepes out of 5, 5 being the top mark, and send it to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And I really, really, really need to try all of them.
And we're probably not going to until next year at this point.
I can't wait to try one and do a review.
In fact, well, in that case, then, I need a breakdown of what's in them so I can try and make them.
We've done, when it opened, we went through them all. They all look amazing.
It'll be
Okay.
hard to beat that Thanksgiving one, though. Dang.
Well, that one's not allowed to be used because it's not
I know.
it's seasonal
I
ones.
know.
No seasonal ones, people, please.
Unless they bring it back. If they bring it back, please bring
But yes.
it back. It's
Like
so
we did with
good.
Which Voodoo Do You Do? If you're in the parks trying them and rating them that way, I need to hear because we can't get there and we haven't been there for a while, if you can do those recordings while
yeah.
you're in the park, will be so much better.
Yeah.
I still remember I can't remember who it was, one of our listeners did a Which Voodoo Do You Do? And she had like 4 of her mates with her as well, stood outside Voodoo Donut and City Walk, doing them all together. And it was brilliant. I just love, it's that chance to sort of experience it vicariously through other people. And it's so, I love that when people send them in.
Yeah. Can you actually take audio off videos?
Yes.
People could send a video in and entertain us as well, because we
They
really
could.
want,
Yeah.
I like to see people enjoying themselves.
You mean who was it? Did
It'd be like watching ASMR.
Q for Quandary bathroom, for which Lou gets your poo. He actually sent us a video in from inside the bathroom. I can't remember who it was now. Sorry, my brain's terrible.
That'd be great though, because then you could show us, look at what I'm
that would be
eating, look at
awesome.
what you're not eating. And
Yeah.
So
Good idea.
yes.
Love it.
Okie dokie. Right. It's that time of the year again. It's Mardi Gras. Not there. This time a year ago, though.
Yeah, we still weren't there. We were home.
We were home, but we'd been.
Yeah, true.
So, Michelle, have you got a review for us?
Well, we heard you
I
live
do.
from the parks 2 weeks ago.
I thought you said
Michelle.
lied.
No, you weren't here, were you?
No.
Kirsty wasn't here, so she hasn't heard any of those reviews. So
Yeah. So while I was there, I did try to record where you could hear a little background tidbits from the park as well. So it was, I have to say, just going into this review, the first and foremost thing is that I absolutely loved the new layout this year.
yeah,
I wasn't super pleased with the changes to Halloween Horror Nights or to all the Christmas festivities. This one, however, is a keeper. Loved it. So now, instead of Mardi Gras being just all right there, kind of in that little, I don't even know what it is, that little nook beside Monsters Cafe, now it's everywhere throughout the whole park at Universal Studios. Not just with the food booths, but also with decorations. So you might randomly run into some giant statues or a giant Mardi Gras mask, or, there's all these photo opportunities. Also, all of the parade floats are scattered. Now, I know that after COVID is all not a thing anymore and they resume the parade, they probably won't have those floats out there anymore like that. But it was a brilliant way to incorporate the bead gathering in a socially distant way. So, walking along with the food booths being separate, it just made more sense. Lee and I were talking about this the other day.
yeah,
That when you want to experience any type of a food festival, you don't get all of the food all at once and
No.
sit down and gorge yourself.
I mean,
So
we could.
you could if you're Tracy, but
Whoa!
Shots fired. Are you saying I can eat? I mean, I can. To be fair,
I love you, Tracy.
I know you do. That's okay. You just volunteered to buy all of my food next trip.
Yeah, but all in one go.
Yeah, right.
So the whole week's worth in one go.
But it just made sense. You walk along, hey, there's a food booth. Let me try something. You try it, and then you ride a ride or whatever and keep walking. And like all throughout the park, it's that way.
Yeah.
So it made it much more enjoyable in many different ways. But then, of course, the parade floats were randomly scattered as well. So that kind of made it fun for Krissa. Well, actually, there were more adults begging for the beads than there were children every time I saw. They were all standing in front of the kids. But, you could walk up, and usually the people on the floats made you do something. Like they wanted to see you have a little bit of energy and dance or something, and then they would throw them to you.
Yeah. It's like I said
but it
to
was
you,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I said to you yesterday, Michelle, when we spoke, and I've talked to Tracy about it as well. It's like the holidays. It's the holidays is the whole resort changes. Halloween Horror Nights, that park, 80% of it changes. You walk into Universal Studios Florida once the lights go, like the lights go down, the sun goes down. That big
Lights go
the big
down,
light
big
goes down.
Put lights out, love.
And it feels like an entirely different park. With Mardi Gras, it feels like I enjoyed it. It was fun, but it's very much, like you say, focused on that sort of rip ride rocket to the mummy, and beyond that there isn't anything unless the parade's on. Whereas this week,
or a concert, yeah.
Yes, well, even that, the concert's still in that area.
Had nothing to
isn't
do with
it?
Mardi Gras, yeah.
No, but it's in that same area. Whereas
you're right.
now I love they've got that NOLA thing on the bridge between New York and Hollywood, and then they've got like all the food booths over by Fear Factor, and then even as far over as like Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone. It just makes Mardi Gras feel like much more of a thing at Universal now, rather than just this tiny little thing that's going on at the front of the park.
And I think we're spacing it out and giving people time between booths. They're probably actually going to sell a lot more stuff.
I would say so.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There were some booths that I completely skipped because the line was way too long.
Right.
Like, they had switchbacks and everything for some of these lines. Yeah. It was nuts. But the spacing was brilliant. And I saw way more interest in the food booths this way than I ever have the other way.
Yeah, because like you say,
sure.
you've got to make that effort. Like, right, I'm hungry now. I'm going to spend time here. But then,
So
if
that doesn't
you
compute.
then go, all right, we're going to go and ride Men in Black now, and it's like, I want something from Mardi, but you're having to trek back and
It's the
forwards,
opposite
back
sides
and
of the park,
forwards, and
yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. And I
Yep.
think we've said it before on the show that why Universal have never. I think we did. When Disney were doing limited time magic, I think we did our own Universal
That's
limited
right.
time magic thing, and I think two of us came up with like a food festival type of thing.
Yeah.
And why Universal have never jumped on that? Because you look, the festivals at Epcot are what bring those crowds in. I mean, you know how popular Food and Wine is. That it's kind of the Flower and Garden Festival now is Food and Wine light. Mm-hmm. It's more about the food and wine than it is about the Flower and Garden now.
For sure.
We've had fun at them. We haven't eaten anywhere near enough, but we've had fun at them.
And then, like, why Universal have never tried to do, and finally they have, and it seems to be paying dividends, because I am so gutted we are not there this year.
I'm hoping that's something that is a big success and they keep up.
Definitely. Well, I know we have been in touch with our PR contact, and at some point we will hopefully be talking to Blake, our good friend, and we will put in we will stake our claim for this to stay as, obviously not with the parade floats and stuff. I wonder what the logistics of them pulling the parade floats out for like some of the day and then taking them backstage for the actual parade on a night, whether they could possibly do that. But then I suppose
I would think that would be way too difficult with having to navigate them through the crowds.
Yeah. So then potentially at that point, you pull the parade floats out and put even more food booths in where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it seems to be people are going crazy for it. I know there's been some complaints I've seen online this last week that people have called them out for their portion sizes going down. I don't know how true that. I don't know how true that is, but I have seen posts online this week. But anyway, I'm all for it.
The thing is, though, I've seen the prices of these dishes, and they're not expensive.
I mean, you're paying,
Unless you get a thimble full.
You're paying $5. How much do you think you're going to get?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not. They're not restaurants. It's tasters,
sample size.
basically.
Well, Michelle,
yeah.
you got the tasting lanyard.
Yeah.
How much of it did you actually end up using?
More than I thought I would, actually. I think I used, let's see, there's 15 on it. I think I used probably 10.
Which isn't bad considering there's only you and Chris who went, and obviously you got some to take back to your hotel for Nancy and Audrey to try.
But like a couple of places, I would get a food item and a drink. You know, so I would use 2 credits at one place.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's pretty easy. If Krista hadn't gotten grumpy, then I would have probably been able to use it all, but she was over it. And it was a great value, honestly.
Yeah, because I think watching some of the vlogs we've watched, is it the crawfish boil thing that's like $12 on its own? Like you get that, and that's...
I must admit, I did look and I'd say, well,
I know.
I'd try it.
See, I like it. I don't mind seafood. Are you a seafood eater at all, Michelle?
No.
And yet you still did well out of it.
I'm stepping out my comfort
Well, I
zone.
did, but I did get that boil. I got the shrimp boil, and I took it back to Nancy.
Did you have any of it?
No.
You won't even try it?
No, but I tried the, that's where they had the punch, the King's Cake milk whatever that
It
was.
sounds disgusting.
King's Cake Punch.
That did look
That
a bit
was
weird.
super good.
If you put milk in the title of a drink, that it just sounds weird unless
Shake.
it's milk. Yeah, but
I don't remember what
milkshake
it was
is
called,
fine.
but it was really good.
It's basically a cake
But a
milkshake.
milk punch.
No,
doesn't
it wasn't a
sound-
milkshake at all. It was an actual like liquidy drink.
It's milkshake,
Kind
not
of
Is it
liquid.
alcohol?
Have you ever had horchata? Like rice milk? It's rice milk with like cinnamon and stuff in it. It was kind of like
That sounds
that.
like
rum
chai.
chai.
But rice,
Yeah.
yeah, like a chai. So like rice milk is very thin. It's not thick like cow milk.
Okay.
So it was kind of like that.
Is it like? Have you ever had bubble tea?
No.
It's like a weird Chinese milky China. We got it in China.
No.
In
But I
Epcot.
drink chai
It's
tea
not just
lattes all the time.
Chinese. It's
But anyway, that's where we got it from, and it has boba in it as well. It's weird. It's very strange. Jade got one. She didn't like it very much.
she
and I
got
ended up
tea.
drinking
It was
It's just-
basically a big cup of cold tea.
and it's weird. It's odd.
I
It's
just
one of
don't- I
those
don't like
things like
boba.
I was drinking it and thinking I don't dislike this, but I don't like it, and I'm going to carry on drinking it. But it's weird.
My drink should never have lumps in it.
So as far as entertainment, let's get off the food a little bit. I don't want to.
Okay.
As far as entertainment, because obviously the big thing for Mardi Gras most of the time, the concerts and the parade float. So as far as entertainment wise, how was that different this year compared to years previous? And did it feel better or worse? Did you miss the parade and the concerts?
I did miss the parade just because that is kind of exciting watching a parade and the music gets pumped up louder and it's just kind of like a big party. I did miss that aspect, although there was music playing at the various parade floats. But of course, with social distancing, the point was to not have such large gatherings. So there were people gathered in front of each parade float, but not very much. So, when you go out there and you dance, you feel a little awkward because you're not in a big crowd. But the people, the team members who were stationed on the parade floats did a good job at requiring some type of movement or activity from the people before just throwing out the beads.
That's good.
So they were doing a good job trying to get people kind of energized. And then Krista really enjoyed twice while I was waiting in line for food in the Italy area. One of the, those little small Mardi Gras bands that would come out and they had maybe 3 or 4
Yes.
different people playing instruments.
See, I love
those
them.
people, they would just randomly come out and kind of walk through the streets, make a loop and come back. That was a lot of fun and people really enjoyed it. So I liked hearing that live music again, but they just didn't make them stationary before because they didn't want to encourage crowding.
Yeah.
So, different, yes. Enjoyable, yes. Do I miss the parade? Yes.
Especially from last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they still have like stilt walkers out and stuff, Michelle?
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I wouldn't mind if they did it again, just like they did this year. I did like the parade. So, but everything else, I hope that they continue to do it as they did this year.
How was the tribute store this year?
Having seen the past several versions of it, this one was a little bit lackluster. I don't know. I'm probably just not that interested in Mardi Gras stuff.
Really?
But it was cool.
Did you try any of the food that was in there then?
I didn't. None of the food in there looked like something that I wanted to spend my money on.
Okay.
It all looked way too sweet for me.
Right.
Way too full of food dye and, manufactured.
Yeah.
There was one room that had a lot of like Mardi Gras masks. That one was kind of cool. I was very tempted to buy a Mardi Gras mask, but where am I going to use that? So,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you put them on, hang them on the wall.
so I refrained. But I enjoyed the past few versions of the tribute store better than I did this one.
Okay. Because we spent quite a lot of time in it last year, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. We did. Enjoyed
Yeah.
it in there.
I like the way they've got the extra food bits on the end now, and it makes it more of an experience than just an actual shop.
Yeah.
Because we've never experienced a tribute store yet with like food at the end.
No.
They only started that with the Horror Nights last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like the concept, and I like how it's different rooms. So, you shop in one room and then you're like, hey, what's around the corner? And it's something totally different.
Yeah.
So that aspect of it's always really fun and cool. But again, I'm not a big Mardi Gras person in general. So I didn't see anything that I needed to invest in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sure Chris and Alexa will be getting down there at some point, so we'll get their perspective when they get down.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's a compromise. But again, kind of like Horror Nights was, they've expanded it out in different ways, and things that they have expanded out that, honestly, from chatting, I think we'd all like to see some of it stay, to be honest.
They did a good job.
A lot of it.
Whatever team put this together to make it work for COVID did a good job.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to hear you.
Good. I am happy.
Yeah.
Just wish I was there.
I know.
I'm glad we got to experience it as it was, because I don't ever think any of the events at Universal will be the same as they were at this point.
No. I think there's been a lot of changes made that got to be permanent.
Yeah.
It's
It
not all
was so
bad.
interesting because it was about the same time that I was there last year with you guys. And last year we were freezing our asses off.
No.
Yes.
And this year Chris and I were sweating our asses off.
Well, to
So
be
that's
honest,
Florida for you.
Yeah.
that was the only day where the weather was bad was that Friday. But Jesus, it was
I have never
cold.
been so cold.
No, it was horrendous.
Yeah. And that's why Krista got grumpy, because it was just, we were too hot. So
Yeah, I can understand that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, well, I guess that's going to do 444. All the fours.
We are 5 episodes away from our 10-year anniversary, people.
Wow, 5 episodes.
Things are in the works. Michelle and I had a discussion about that episode yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
She's on board. Tracy is on board, Michelle.
Yay.
I don't know what he's talking
Chris
about, but
is,
apparently I'm on board.
Chris is, he has the necessary equipment as well.
Oh,
we just
good.
need to test
It
it.
is the naked show,
We
then.
just need to test it out at some point. Before.
What equipment of Chris's are we needing
I know.
here? Huh.
Well, we had a discussion why we necessarily couldn't do it yesterday, and he has one.
I see what you're talking about.
Anyway.
This is just getting worse and worse.
Yes.
Tracy, you need to wrap this up quick.
Yeah, I'm trying. So I'm going to wrap this up. We are going to end with another listener submitted Universal Is, and this one comes from Chris Rook, from Rookie himself. All you have to do if you want to be involved is drop us an email to podcast@uuopodcast.com or send it via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Carrier Pigeon. I know I always say that, don't
I know you do.
That. Tell us what you think Universal is in 3 words or less. And Chris says Universal is the Mutts Nuts. Sounds about right.
Guess that wraps things up for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese. See you later.